This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/gadgettv.
Hi, this is Andrew Moore-Crispin for Gadget TV on Butterscotch.com, and today we're taking a look at the Motorola Atrix Lapdock. That's this guy right here. This is the Motorola Atrix that we looked at in a previous episode of Gadget TV. Unlocked price on the phone, $600. Carrier relief price on the Lapdock, $330. Without any kind of carrier relief, we've seen it for as much as $500, and that was kind of the initial launch price. So what's interesting here is this thing is basically a thin client. All it is a battery pack inside here, a keyboard, a mouse pad, and an 11.5-inch screen. When we actually dock the Atrix with the Lapdock, we unlock mobile computing experience. So we'll get the Atrix out of the shot for just a second so we can see really how thin and light this thing is. So we can see the dock is currently extended. Just kind of pop that down like this. Now if you look at it on its side, it really, I mean, it's probably about as thick as an iPad. It's really quite thin. You can see on the back here we have two USB ports as well as the power adapter the plug for the included power adapter. On the sides here we have stereo speakers, and that's really about it. On the bottom here we have, right underneath the mouse pad, we have a button that we can check the charge level. I'm not sure if you can see that, but when you press this, there are actually 5 LEDs. There are 5 LEDs here, and it gives you a gauge on how charged up your battery is. Now, we've been using this thing off and on for the better part of the week. Obviously not super extended use, but we haven't really diminished the battery at all, so that's a good sign. I believe I mentioned this is an 11.5-inch screen. So what we do here, we open up the dock accessory in the back. We take this part of the Motorola Atrix, dock it with the micro B USB and the mini HDMI port here. Plug it in like that. And now, this is also a nice feature. All too often, laptops, especially Windows-based laptops and sort of laptops that don't really take quite the same amount of care that a company like Apple takes in creating their accessories, you'll find you have to kind of press a button and hold this part down and open it up. But this is a small feature, but does show a good attention to detail. We can actually open it up with just one hand like that. And now we'll see, as we open up the lid, we'll see we pop into our Lapdock view here. So you see, on the left we have full access to our phone. Obviously, this is not a multi-touch pad here, so we can't do things like pinch to zoom. But we do have access to all of our phone stuff here, so we can go through here and see what apps we have. But like I say, no way that I've found anyway to actually scroll through. Really quite awkward. So I have to cancel this here. We can go into our apps, pick anything out here. So we can install apps. We can continue to install apps onto the Motorola Atrix just like we would with any other smartphone. However, over on the Lapdock side here, we do have access to a full Firefox Web Browser as well. So you can see we have a couple of tabs open here. We'll close this one down, get into Butterscotch.com. Now we can't, like I said, we can't scroll through. No multi-touch, no discernible way to actually scroll through one of these web pages. We actually have to do it old school and pull this scroll bar down here. So that really, to me, is a bit of a killer feature. Like it kind of kills the whole experience. It is good to be able to get access to a full Firefox web browser, but we can't install any apps. We can't properly scroll through the page. So really, kind of early days for a product like this. Great concept, but just some of the implementation just doesn't feel quite right. But everything is running off the Atrix, which is back here. So like I said, dual-core smartphone running NVIDIA Tegra 2, 1 gigahertz processor, gig of RAM. So it's reasonably responsive when we're going through here, but nothing like you'd find even on a low-powered netbook. So we could go open up a new tab. A lot of the keyboard shortcuts that you're used to work. So we could just go to google.com. Now the keyboard is smaller than regular size. Smaller often even than a lot of netbooks we've tried. But it works reasonably well. A couple little layout issues you'll have to get used to. I've found touch typing on it to be a little bit difficult. But like I said, you can't install any other applications, but you can use web apps here. So if we wanted to go to Google Docs, we could do that. and then use all of the tools that are within Google Docs. We could go to Picnic and photo edit and all that kind of stuff, but we can't actually install new apps. Not even new apps. We can install new apps onto the mobile phone that's in the back here and run them even full screen. However, we can't install any kind of applications for the Lapdock itself. So that's things like, just some way to, view and read Office documents that isn't Google Docs if that's important to you. Just little things like that, like being able to find an app maybe to run internet radio or something like that. But what's happening is we are charging the phone as we're docked with the Lapdock. Like I said, a cool idea, a really great idea. When I first heard about this thing, I was really excited to actually see it in action. Now that I've had a chance to play with it for a week or two, I'm just not all that impressed with the experience. It's neat, but not much more than that. Now, one other thing we'll show you really quickly here. You see over here, these are some of the apps that we have in kind of a dock here. If we tap on this one, it takes us to almost like a new, well, it's not even almost, it's a new kind of way to interact with the entertainment that's on our phone. Now this works with the HD dock as well, which we'll get to in a later episode of Gadget TV. But you can see here, we're just kind of scrolling through, we can see our videos, our pictures. You're seeing a little bit of the sluggishness that does affect the thing sometimes. But we can see here, we're going to videos. So we can see all the videos that are on the phone and actually play them back in HD. Now, whatever videos are on here are from the previous reviewer, so we'll just tap on one of these and show it off. So you can see the quality of the screen's pretty good, reasonably responsive, nice overall experience, but just, like I say, just not quite there yet. So, like I say, great concept, just not quite all there in the implementation. So that's a quick look at the Motorola Atrix Lapdock. For Gadget TV, I'm Andrew Moore Crispin. For more sweet stuff, visit butterscotch.com.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/gadgettv.